Hi everyone, Stacy Holman with Positive Chaos. Today I am going to show you a really fun technique that everyone seems to enjoy and like to wear. And it's a great way to use up your bead soup, but I've also played around with other materials that we can do this with as well. So here I used hemp cord and I crocheted it. This seems to be, the thing many people are doing, and it's so much fun to do. I am not a crocheter by any means. As a matter of fact, if you look closely, or you don't even have to look that close at all, my loops are not even, but the look is still, it's still the same. People are just, when you wear it, people are just going to be looking at, how fun it is and how nice it is. So again, I used hemp cord, and what I did is I strung on all of my beads. All these beads I strung on. And then I held out my arms and I stretched, I didn't stretch, but I held one end of the cord in one hand and the other end of the cord in another hand. But I did that 3 times to make sure I had enough, and I still had to use from the spool. So it does take a lot of cord, and it also depends on how big your beads are and how long you want your necklace. But again, I stretched out my arms, and from one hand to the other, I did that 3 times with the cord. And again, I still had to borrow from the spool, which is why it is best to work from the spool. Here I did use a clasp. Oh, I can't even find it. I used a magnetic clasp only because I like to wear wrap bracelets. So in order to do that without stretching out the cord, I can hold this in one hand, wrap as many times as I want, and then just clasp it up. I can also wear this as a necklace, put it 2 or 3 times around, but it's so much fun. And I use so many beads, so many different size beads. I kind of, nope, on this one I did not color black. I just went with whatever I felt. So again, that's using hemp cord. And then this one here, I used 1 millimeter leather. Oh, you can't even tell, but it looks like chain. It looks so cool. It looks like chain. With leather cord, you do have to be careful because it's a little bit more stretchy. With this one, again, I did use a clasp to do the same thing. If I want to wrap it around my neck a couple times, I can. If I want to wrap it around my wrist, I'm not limited, because if I didn't have a clasp, then I wouldn't know how, I could only wrap it around a couple times, and then trying to get that 3rd time to go around, I'm really struggling, and I don't want to stretch it. So this is my 1 millimeter leather cord, and I love it. I love using leather. You can fit so many beads. Now, what I found using hemp cord, that the end tends to fray unless your holes are pretty large. The end will fray, and I have, and all these beads, obviously they fit on the cord, but I had to cut some of the cord and angle it. You can also put a little bit of glue on the end of the cord to prevent it from fraying. So you could do that as well. And I did do that, but I didn't have the right kind of glue. So I just kept cutting an angle in the cord. But with the leather, there's not so much fraying. So it fit very well through these beads and very easily So I loved using the leather cord, the 1mm leather cord. Let's see. I also used cotton cord. I didn't make this one as long, but this, I have like the 4-color cotton cords, and this was a whole spool, and this took up the whole thing. So this is how long, and I love it. I love it. You know, it still looks like, I'm trying to get it to focus, still looks like chain, imitation chain. Well, I mean, it's a chain stitch for crochet, but I love it. And again, I put a clasp on. And a couple more pieces here. Here I use stretch cord, which I really enjoyed, and it wasn't that hard to use. I thought it would be really hard, really difficult to use because it is stretchy, but still, I mean, yes, it's stretchy, but it's, I mean, the colors really pop. Stretchy cord, I believe, come in different colors, but I like using the light colors because the color beads you use, I mean, they really pop. They really pop out, and I love it. Again, I put clasp on this as well, especially on this one, because I don't want to stretch it so much, because I don't want to stretch out my loops. So that was a lot of fun and easier to work with than I thought. And in this one here, I used beading wire. And this one, believe it or not, is pretty stretchy. It's pretty flexible, but I want to be careful because I don't want to stretch out my loops. So when wearing this, I'm not going to do a whole lot of, I'll do wrapping around the wrist, but not a whole lot of wrapping around my neck because I don't want to lose the shape. I don't want the shape of the loops to stretch out. Confession, I also used wire, 26 gauge wire, and it did not go so well. So, but just know that there are so many videos on YouTube on how to use wire, how to crochet with wire. I just couldn't do it. I mean, first of all, I'm not much of a crochet person. I mean, I dabbled in it many years ago, but it just didn't stick with me. It's my tension too. I mean, you probably saw my other necklaces I showed you that my tension is just, it's a little off, but that comes with a lot of practice. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate just quickly how to do this. I'm using my hemp cord, and I only have five beads on here, different sizes. I'll probably just demonstrate a couple of them for you, but again, you want to put on more beads than you think you're going to use, okay? And then work directly from the spool. It's just so much easier working in that way. All right, so I'm going to make now don't judge me, please. Again, I'm not a crocheter. I don't do a lot of crocheting or ever. I'm a jewelry maker and designer. I'm just experimenting and just giving you more inspiration, more options to explore. All right, so I made my loop. And now what I like to do is I like to make a few loops just to get started. Again, don't judge me. My tension is wild. My loops aren't that great. But you know what? It's so much fun. And yes, I'm going to wear the jewelry pieces I made. Heck yeah, I am. Okay, so this is not. Okay, whoops. See? Oh gosh, I'm so clumsy. I'm so sorry. All right, so that's all I'm going to make. just to save us some time. All right, so when you get to the point, I'll probably actually only do a couple more loops to get me started. All right, so scooch down the bead, and this is a long bead, and I did that on purpose. So what you want to do is scooch it down, but you want to give yourself enough cord, extra cord, so you can get around this bead here. Okay, so holding the, I'm just gonna reach up, let out a little bit of cord, okay, and then just come around. All right, now the bead is stuck on. Okay, and then you're just gonna do a couple more loops. Another thing I want to point out too, so I'll bring back my necklaces or bracelets, wrap bracelets. All right, and then for time's sake, now you can put in here as many loops in between the beads as you want, but I'm just gonna do a couple right now. And then scoot your next bead down. Okay. And then again, this is going to sit on the side here. So, see, it's going to sit like that. So give yourself some slack with the cord so that you can bring, the extra cord around that bead. Oops. Okay. Okay. And there we go. And then you're going to do a couple more stitches in between the beads. And that's pretty much, I mean, that's the technique right there. That's what you're going to do when it comes to crocheting your own beads and making your own wrap bracelets or layered jewelry. All right, so another thing I want to point out is that this necklace here, I put my beads a little further, you know, and I didn't count the length of chain stitch between each bead. I didn't do that. I just went along, I eyeballed it, and I said, okay, this looks like a good place to put a bead. But you can see, you know, a little bit of space in there. And then same with this one, but the space is a little less. Okay. And then this one here, the space is way less because I wanted more beads and less chain. So you can see here from the space in between the beads, completely different, much longer, shorter. So it doesn't matter. It just all depends on the look you're going for, and you know, just how you want to wear it. I know it looks like a mess right now, so that's not pretty. But just have fun, use different materials. All you need is extra beads. You need a few of them, quite a few of them, but extra beads, whatever your string material is, and your crochet hook. Crochet hooks, they do come in different sizes. Of course, if you're an expert beader or an expert crocheter, you know that, and you know the sizes. This one here, this is a 3.75 millimeter. I actually want to work with a 1 millimeter or in the 1 millimeter range, because I think I'll like the loops better. So anyway, just I hope this inspires you to just try different things, and it's not like a typical stringing jewelry making technique, but it's different. It's the look people are going for, and just have fun. Use different materials. How about rat tail satin cord? I would use that, but I only have 2mm, and I need 1mm or less for the beads I have. But try that. I mean, there's so many options out there for you. Have fun. Showcase your beautiful extra beads using this technique. And if you have any questions, you can visit my blog, and my contact information is on there. The blog name is Positive Chaos, and it's staceyholman.com. staceyholman.com. And my email address is positivechaossh@gmail.com. And also go on my website, because I'm going to have, go on my blog site, because I am going to have step-by-step written instruction. I'm going to have illustrations on there, and possibly other tips and techniques and ideas for you to explore. So again, my name is Stacy, and my blog name is Positive Chaos, staceyholman.com. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me anytime. positivechaossh@gmail.com. I'll see you there.